Well, you seem to think that the Israeli behavior is unfair. I mean, what exactly do you mean?
Well, we're talking about over 40 years of continuous occupation of the West Bank and Gaza. We're talking about a continuous siege of Gaza over the last 7 years, an illegal blockade that is having a daily impact on the autonomy and on the rights and on the freedoms of the ordinary citizens of Gaza. And obviously in the last week or so we have seen an assault upon Gaza. Those are all of the actions that we are protesting about.
So what was this assault about? Why did Israel assault Gaza?
Well, Israel's narrative is that it is defending itself from attack because of the rocket fire into Gaza. We say the rocket fire from Gaza, I mean, I do not support the rocket fire from Gaza when it is aimed at civilians, but the rocket fire from Gaza can only be understood in a context of the continuing siege of Gaza and the continuing occupation of Palestine. So if Israel claims that it has the right to self-defense, first of all, its actions are not in self-defense, but one has to ask, what rights do the Palestinians have to defend themselves against occupation?
It seems that Iran is supporting the Palestinians with weapons.
Where the Palestinians, I mean, what I would point out, I think the question is this. My own personal view is I do not support rocket fire, particularly when it is aimed at civilians, because it is in violation of international law. But all peoples, as we are continually told in relation to Israel, have the right to self-defense. And therefore the question, I think, for the international community is, if the Palestinians have the right to self-defense, how should they defend themselves? What would be acceptable? And if we're talking about weapons that go to those resisting occupation in Palestine, we may want to ask questions about the arming of Israel. Israel, of course, is the fourth largest army in the world, supported and armed by the United States. So maybe we need to focus on that.
Please just say your name.
My name is Ben Jamal.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Please explain what is going on in Gaza now.
Okay, well, the Israelis are into at least a week of bombardment of the besieged population of Gaza. They've killed at least 150 Palestinians at the last count, many of them children. Of course, they claim that they are retaliating against rocket strikes. This is just absurd excuses. They want to look tough in the build-up to the elections in Israel. And of course, the real background is 60 years of Palestinian dispossession, ethnic cleansing, demolition of homes, random detentions without legal process, including of children. And of course, it's a nuclear-armed state, which nobody in the West ever talks about. And they seem to be able to kill Palestinians with impunity. No one in the West ever takes action.
What do you think Israel's trying to achieve in Gaza now?
Well, I think they do want to try and bomb the Palestinian population of Gaza into submission. They quite clearly want to bomb them back to medieval times. They've used this term. They want to destroy the infrastructure. And it's very ironic because, of course, the Palestinians have a long tradition of steadfastness, of maintaining their resistance. So it's completely a doomed strategy. It makes me very sad. Israel never accepts the rights to justice and equality and freedom of the Palestinians.
You think the Palestinians have the right to defend themselves with weapons, as they are doing?
Look, I mean, it's not my job to say what I believe that a besieged people and oppressed people have the right to choose their form of resistance. I mean, I also feel personally that culture is a form of resistance. When Palestinians dance, when they make theatre, when they make music, that's a form of resistance, which is denied them by the Israelis. May I explain? That's why this kind of action is important, because Israel sends its dancers, its musicians around the world to show a pretty face to the world and to try and prettify its image, whereas Palestinian culture is suppressed. Yeah, so I mean, the dancers here are not personally at fault, but the Israeli state uses them as a cover for their brutal actions, supported by the West.
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva,
viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Palestinians, in our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina!